Hello and welcome to our help video on how to make a clipping here at Newspaper Archive. It's really quite simple. Once you find the page that includes the information that you want to clip, you are going to, here's the information piece that I'm going to clip right here, this little blurb about an ancestor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the upper left-hand corner to the clip. Now you'll notice I did a search to find this information, so that's why it's showing up and highlighted as yellow. When you do the clipping, that will not show up on your clipping. So just kind of a word of note. So I'm going to come up here to the left and I'm going to choose clip. And once I choose clip, then I'm going to get this box with red square corners that I can drag anywhere on the page to create my clipping. So I'm going to put the box around the section that I want to clip, and I can adjust any of these squares like handles on the sides to make so I can grab the whole thing, but I can also make it bigger and smaller with those handles. You'll also notice that in the clipping options here on the right of my clipping that I have different shapes. So I can create clippings that are different shapes and sizes with the clipping tool. But I'm gonna stick with this particular clipping here, just the square clip for this piece that I'm doing. So once I have it in the shape that I want, I'm gonna go ahead and click clip. And when I do, I get a details box to come up. Now, there are some different options that are available, but I do want you to pay attention here in the top section where it says details in the red bar. There's nothing right now, but there will be in just a few minutes. So it's going to tell me the newspaper that it's from, the date, and the page number, and then the location. Then I also have saved to. Now it's going to pull whatever I use to search. So you can see in my search bar up here, I searched this Henry Von Poole. And that's going to do an automatic save to. I don't want that. I can change that at any time. So I actually have a folder that is called Family Research that I use. So you can change that to whatever you want. And then you've got the folder is going to be in your favorites folder, which that's just, that is just kind of default for where it's going to be in that section. And we'll talk about that on a later tutorial video. Then you also have clipping credit. Clipping credit is basically who created the clipping. So I have mine set to anonymous, but you can click on that and it's going to change it to whatever your profile name is in Newspaper Archive. So I'm going to keep mine anonymous. And then summary and notes. I find this very helpful because if I've got a bunch of clippings that are about the same type of thing, or even if they're not, any kind of note that I can make here helps me when I am searching through my clippings at a later date. So I'm going to just put a little bit note here that Henry Von Poole was visiting Greensburg. That's just to help me. And then you can give it a category, obituary, birth, marriage, or other. And I'm just gonna not give it a category, but when you do this, you can search by this, that category. It's gonna pop up later and we'll do that in another tutorial as well. If this isn't the shape, I decide that I wanna change the shape of my clipping, I can do that here. Edit my shape. I can add a person. So if I wanted to, and I don't really use this feature very often, but if I wanted to add a person and like put clippings to that person, I could do that here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save because I've really got the information that I need here available. So once I click on save, and remember to look at this part of the clipping once this saves and it pops back up again, you're going to see that I have some different options. So it's going to tell me here in green, and it went away really quick, but it said that clipping was successful. Now I have two other options. I can download this clipping or I can print this clipping. So if I click on the download option, I can save it as a PDF or I can save it as a JPEG image. If I click either one of these, is going to give me a new box and it's going to ask me what I want. So this is going to be, I can do just the clipping. I can do the full page of the newspaper, which that would be really hard to read on an 8.5 by 11. But if I want to do just the clipping, I can give it a file name. So when it saves, it's going to put the newspaper first and then the date of the newspaper as the name of my file that I'm saving, or I can do the date first. So however you want to do that to save it. I mean, you can always change the name of it later, but this helps you find them quick and easy. I'm going to cancel this real quick just so I can show you how that looks different with the save as a PDF file. If I save this as a PDF file, I have the same clipping versus full page. I can do a portrait versus landscape layout. I can fit it to page, or I can scale it if I want to make it bigger or smaller. Again, I've got a file name, newspaper first, date first, but this is the section that I love when you do it as a PDF. If you included notes, which I did, you can include your notes with just a check here. And you can see I put Henry Von Poole was visiting Greensburg, that was the note I created. You also get your source information, which is awesome. So it tells you the name of the newspaper, the date, what page it's on, the location, and then it also gives you the link that takes you to that direct newspaper when you're looking for it. So it includes that source citation, which is awesome. So that's if you download a file. The other option then is to print, and print's going to be very similar. You can save as a clipping full page. This one also gives you the option to do this as a poster print. If you wanted to get a poster print created of your clipping, you can do your layout size and then include your notes and source information. So this clipping is saved. And just as a reminder, you won't get those download and print options until after the clipping has been saved. So good luck in your clippings at Newspaper Archive, and I hope you find lots of great things.